Testing 1 2. Hey traders, hope everything's going well. You guys are having a good weekend. So I just want to get out a little webinar, do some more chart reviews, and touch a little bit on some market intuition and a couple other pages that I think will help you guys out. So first, most of you guys know, going through some personal issues. So past couple days, trading, I guess like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whatever, has been pretty rough. There's no doubt about it. And I'm dealing with it. So I'm doing the best I can. So hopefully, come tomorrow, we'll start nailing the trades and things will be a little bit back to normal, at least from the room's point of view, or from my point of view. I know I've been very, very quiet. So anyway, that being said, next trade, which means let's move on. Okay, so a lot of these charts are going to be second day plays, which I really haven't emphasized a lot in the room. We play them every day, but we don't go over them a lot in webinars. So I'm going to do a lot of second day plays and then do some paras, parabolic moves, just touch on that again and take it from there. For the new traders, it's a pretty good book, which I got a lot out of. It's called The Playbook by Mike Bella Fiore, Fiore. He runs SMB Capital, which is a prop firm. They also have an educational arm, which personally not a big fan of, but I do like the book. It tells you how to properly do chart reviews. It tells you some different kind of setups that I actually use, like the second day play, and it kind of helps you realize what kind of trader you are as an individual. So it's I found it really, really helpful, really interesting, especially the second half, because you really need to be recognizing the patterns, because the patterns are the patterns, and it's all what traders look for. And once the pattern's set up, it's great, but you have to execute the trade. If you don't execute the trade, you can have the best setup in the world, and it's not going to matter because you didn't execute it. It's all about the execution once you have the probabilities in your favor. You can't hesitate, you just got to do it. If you're hesitating, okay, you're either not sure in the setup, or you didn't accept the risk, or you're trading with too much size. Simple as that. So if that is you, identify what you're doing, and because the hesitation might cost you the perfect entry. Sometimes 10, 20, 30 cents does make a difference. So this is Alta on the screen share right now. This is a second day play. Second day play is when the stock becomes in play on day one, okay, and closes at or near its closing price of the previous day. So this is one day. Let's say for the heck of it, this is Friday or Thursday, and then this day will be Friday. Okay, so we got a high put in and a low put in. Okay, again, band to band. That's why I used to love playing Alta. But you have to know when the stocks are in play. Otherwise, Alta, any stock like Alta can just chop you up. And I got chopped up really bad on Thursday, but it's my own fault. I know I should not have been trading on Thursday, and of course, what did I do? I go to the stock that I hate the most, is Acacia. I told Luigi, 2 months ago, that it's going to fill the gap and be down in the 70s. It's probably up in the high 90s, low hundreds at the time, and here we are. Acacia's down in the 70s. So that's where it comes to intuition and just having a feel, and that will come, and that's a big part of my trading. But I can't teach that to you guys. I can help you expedite the process, but it's just screen time and looking at things over and over and over again. And you'll get to a point where you're just going to look at a chart and you can say, okay, it looks good, set up, boom, 30 seconds. You went through all the parameters, the volume, the moving averages, the MACD, the upper lower deviation band, previous day close, all the different time frames. And you're just going to nail it. It's just a level that you will get to. The more trading you do, the more confidence you have in yourself, the more confidence you have in the trading system. You can have the best trading system in the world. Okay, it's all about execution. It's like I teach this. Well, I teach my method. To everybody that's in the room. Okay, and everybody, has different outcomes. So, it's not about the system, it's about how you execute the system. If it was that easy, then everyone would be having, similar outcomes. But everybody is unique, and you have to trade the way you're comfortable with. Some people like to scale out of the trade. Some people, take the profits once they reach, a certain target. So just because the system works, it doesn't produce the same results for everybody. You have to do what's comfortable for you. Okay? So second day plays is when the stock again takes out a previous high or the previous low of the prior day when the stock is in play. Okay? And I already told you guys mostly know when the stock's in play. You'll see full candles. You'll see more volume than usual. You won't see a lot of wicks. You won't see it trading technically well like this one did the previous day. So second day play, when the stock takes out the previous low of the day before, you take it short. Okay, so here's the previous day low. Okay, little fake breakout, broke the deviation, 920 cross, fake breakout. Okay, you got some people caught this. They probably took this as a short, even though we know recently, the past couple months, the market has been taking it below the lower deviation band or below the double bottom by 20 to 50 cents, getting those shorts trapped, and then taking it back long. You can see all the green volume right here. That's short covering, and that's people waiting for the proper signal to get back in. And you see an increase in volume here, which is the people that thought it was going to break out. Okay? So, recently, like I said, when you see a double or triple bottom and it peaks out by 20 to 50 cents or whatever of the lower or upper, if you're talking about triple tops, double tops, don't get caught in that trap. That's all it is a trap. Okay? So the stock opens up. I'm just gonna say 253 just for shits and giggles. Opens up 253, and let's just say that this was 253.50. Okay, so as soon as, well, let's just say that this is 253 and this is 253.50. Okay, as soon as 253 is breached, okay, and it puts in a red candle, and I mean, especially this was a perfect setup. It already had 920.50 cross. You take it short as soon as the low from yesterday was taken out. Okay? This one was a perfect setup because you had the deviation band right there and you had the 9 right there. Okay? And it just went through VWAP like butter. So you just take it short, came down, okay? Little bit of short covering. It held the 9 and it held the VWAP. Okay? So you have two things. Well, actually one thing, if you wanted to, was you would still be in this trade. Because this is just short covering right here. That's all it is. It hits VWAP, you could add to your position, and then ride it all the way down. And this one came straight down. Never even once came close to touching this 9. All the way down to 247. Okay? These are going to be more of a focus for me going forward as far as my morning opening calls. In addition to the regular gap ups, because there really hasn't been a lot of follow through with the gap ups lately. So, as the market changes, so do I. And you always got to adapt to the market. and trade what works. Okay, so classic example. Even if this wasn't a second day play, okay, ignore this. This is still a beautiful opening short. Okay, take it short after this first red candle. I would take it short. Okay, why? Because I have this to protect me. I have the 9 to protect me. I have the 20, and I'd be willing to risk the point up to the previous day close. Right there. Actually, the opening. It just faded. It was beautiful. Beautiful fade. This is a perfect setup. Okay, so you have to anticipate these moves. Okay, take like a mental snapshot of this pattern. Okay, so this is what we look for. Next one, we got Tiva. I think this is from a while back, but I don't know if I ever went over it. Anyway, this is a falling knife. You guys all know that, okay? Falling knives and parabolics, as you know now, I usually stay away from because I get myself in trouble. I did play that, I think IMBN or whatever it was on Friday. I actually got, not lucky, but I averaged in had pretty good size. I had 8,000 shares. And I was up about 1,800 bucks at one point. And of course my greedy ass got greedy. I still ended up making nice money, but not nearly as much as I should have. Because I thought it would get more of a fade, but it held the 50s. And I think Zach and I both got out at the same time right at the market close. So it worked out well. So with falling knives, okay, you can see just past couple of days just grinding. Okay, opens up. Okay, you got some shorts coming down, so you easily short this break. Okay, then it kind of comes down, and news comes out. Okay, someone knew about the news earlier. Okay, because that's probably why it just was consolidating, and all of a sudden it starts to fade. So that always happens. So people always know, a couple minutes beforehand, and take advantage of it. So then you got the parabolic thing just drops. Okay, we used to have a couple traders always trying to find the bottom of these things and catch the ride back up. If that's the way you guys like to trade these, great, but very dangerous doing that. Very dangerous doing that because you never really know where the bottom is going to be unless you have resistance on the weekly or monthly. That's really strong. So as soon as you see a parabolic or a falling knife, first thing you go is go to the monthly and then go to the weekly and look for resistance or support depending on the move, and that should be your target. And if it hits that target, then okay, let's scale in. You don't go balls in, just scale in. And if you're right, you'll catch this little pop back up. But what I like to do on these, and I think I explained this in one of my earlier webinars, is this pop is the safer reshort. It pops back up to VWAP, and then you get the secondary short. Okay? The secondary short usually isn't as powerful as the first short. Okay? But I don't like trying to find the bottoms. Okay? I wait for the VWAP and then the secondary. It's just a safer move because the bottom's been put in usually. This one took it a little bit lower and got some people trapped. But you can see it, but the volume here and the volume here. Look at the difference of the volume. Okay? So this is just a bullshit. I'm sorry. This is just a move to get people to think it's going to go lower. Why do I say that? Why do I feel that way? Well, you got the MACD flip happening. You got a rising MACD histo. You got less volume, but more of a sell-off. So it just trapped people to go short. And then we do, you got a whole bunch of short covering right there. And then going back to VWAP. And then look to the left. You got this little tail or wick right there. That's your trend line. Always talking about trend line support and trend line resistance. This is trend line resistance, which was support. And that's it. So if you don't catch, if you don't catch this first break, don't short it down here, guys. Don't do that. Wait for the retracement to VWAP, and then take the short. And the same thing goes with the parabolics. Let the stock run up, put in a high, okay? Check the monthly, check the weekly, look for a price, look for the exhaustion candle, big volume candle, which is right here on the parabolic. If you missed that short, let it come back to VWAP, okay? And when it comes back to VWAP, that's where you can take it long for the secondary pop, okay? I think that happened with Coors. I mean, Coors popped Friday, I believe, on a whole bunch of calls being purchased, unusual call buying on I don't know what it was. Maybe it was January, February, 50 calls. I don't know what it was, but they went to $50 in a heartbeat, and it had really good momentum. I ended up, trying to catch the long side of it, and it came back down, and it held, and then it went back up and put in a lower high, and then it came back down. I thought the run was over, and then boom, took a loss, and stock came right back. So there was some unusual trading on Coors on Friday, which means that I don't know if they have earnings coming up or whatever, but I'm going to keep my eye on Coors, come Monday, because that move is very uncommon for a stock like Coors. So anyway, with this, if you miss a short, like I said, let it run. Don't try to catch the bottom unless there's obvious support. Not daily, not weekly. Look for, well, weekly is good and monthly is good, but daily supports can easily be taken out. Okay, and then check the volume, get the retrace. That's where your short is. That's a safe short, guys. Where's your stop? Your stop is a break above VWAP. That's where your stop. Because right here, with this parabolic, you don't know where your stop's going to be. You have no idea because the action is so fast and furious. You have no idea where your stop's going to be. It's going to be a monetary figure, but you don't know what price that's going to be because you're probably not going to get filled at that price. There's just too many orders being fired out. So just stay away is a safe thing. Wait for the secondary, then execute your order. SIG, another stock that I love. And I apologize. I think I nailed this chart already, but I wanted to put it back up because of this. Okay, huge gap down on earnings. Okay, huge. Okay, so a stock like SIG, when it's in play, and you know that by looking at this consolidation, really no activity, no volume, nothing's going on. Okay, then all of a sudden you're getting big candles, no wicks, solid bars, right? That's when you know the stock is in play. Look at the volume leading up to it. Okay, people were preparing themselves for the open right here in pre-market. Same thing here. This tells you, boom. This thing is making a move or going to continue on the move. So huge gap down, right? Comes up, just grinding on VWAP, and it's on a conference call. Okay, usually on conference calls, they want to make the news sound all pretty for their shareholders. So, that's why I hate beating the stock on a conference call. Really? Sorry, guys. All right. So, when you got a conference call, you don't know what's going to be said. Most of the time, they like to say good things. Sometimes you're going to say, that looks kind of scary, or we're going to miss the numbers. I don't like being in a trade when the conference call is going on. Well, it must have said something nice. You got a nice little pop, right? So when you look here, you got a double top. Okay? So some people took it short based on this double top, which is, the right thing to do because you have the upper deviation band. Came down. Okay. Didn't really go down far. Still holding VWAP. We're actually holding the 920 right here. Okay. And then you got big spike in volume. Something else was probably said on a conference call. But where to stop? Upper deviation band. Look to the left. Look to the left. Okay. So you got a triple top. Okay. So you either add to your short or stay with your short. Then you finally get the break. That's what you need. You got the 920 cross, VWAP break, straight down. All based on the triple top. Really what it was. Some of this move right here, could it be attributed to something that was said on a conference call? Yeah, probably. But you still would have faded it because you had a triple top, and this move still would have the pattern, the setup, is still valid. It just might have been, let's say, a little bit exaggerated, or a little more profitable because there was probably something negative said on a conference call. But either way, look at the setup. Okay, that's what I want you guys to look at, these setups. Okay, because it's so easy to go back over charts and find the setups after they're happening. Okay, so the more charts you look at, you're gonna be able to predict what's going to happen with high probability. Okay, again, there's no guarantee. We're just playing the probabilities. So now we got Lululemon, which actually should be an interesting play this week too. So you can see this. Call this, if you want to call this a second day play, great. But I got it primarily for the stuff up here. Okay, you can see how it's getting stuffed. Right here, you got doji. Very important. Dojis are, if you don't know any Japanese candlesticks, all right, which I hope by now you guys know the 6 that you need to know. If you don't, go over the webinar that has them. Dojis are my favorite candlesticks, and I will take a trade just primarily based on a doji. Okay, no doubt about it. So doji's formed, hits a high, hits a high, hits a high. All right, it's getting stuffed. Can't break this 81.75 level. All right, so what's happening? You got huge volume. Look at this big volume spike. Okay, then you got a little secondary push right up. Okay, but look at the volume. The volume is diminishing. Okay, the MACD is falling. Okay, so the buying is starting to get exhausted. So what's going to happen? You got the stuff 81.75. You take it short. The first candle that breaks this low, you take it short. Okay, as soon as it breaks a 9, you take it short. Okay, no, I wouldn't wait for a 920 cross on this one because you only have 81.50. Okay, you only have what, a 25-cent stop. So take it short. It hits VWAP. Okay, good. Hit VWAP. Let's see what happens now. Look at the volume. There's really no increase in volume, nothing yet, right? So there's no reason to get out. The MACD is still falling. Okay, so it comes up, it tests the 920, fails, and you get the 920 cross, another red candle. You're still good with this short. Okay, and if you wanted to add at the 920 cross, this would be a great place to add to your position. Well, as it does, it just comes down, perfect fade. Where does it stop? Well, it stops at some weird area for some reason. I don't know why it stopped here. Well, look to the left. Okay. More importantly, look to the left over here. You could probably draw a pretty good straight line right across there to yesterday's high to where it stopped. And that's what traders are looking for. Then you got the rebound. Okay. So when I say look to the left, that's what you've got to be doing when you're in the trade. Okay? Don't be looking at the chart all the time. Look to the left. I'm sorry, don't look at the current price action the whole time. Always keep your eye on the left to figure out where the stock is going to be going in all likelihood. And compare it with the volume and the MACD. Okay? So another Lulu. Perfect double top. Perfect double. I think this is the same day. It is the same day. Because remember here, we had that 81.75 was the high. It got stuffed. Then you got the fade, right? That we were talking about the yesterday's high. So it comes back up. Okay, so what do we have here? Well, we got actually a lot. We have a lower high. Okay. Little bit of volume. Nothing like over here. A little bit of volume. MACD histo flip. Double top. So if it failed here, what do you think is going to happen here? It's going to fail. What's your risk? Your risk is the upper deviation band that has your back. And that's how I'm going to refer to the upper and lower bands, is they have your back. They're there to help you, okay? Because that's your stop. Take it short, okay? You got the 920 cross. Just let it slowly ride down and let the chart tell you when to get out, okay? Down here, we got some short covering off the bottom. Look to the left. Came back up, tested the 50, and then it faded into the end of the day. But this double top is what I wanted to show you. You got like 5 candles here that got rejected. One, it looks like there's a doji there. Lower high, take it short. Your risk is 81.90. 2 cents above the upper deviation band. Then you got the 920 cross, like I said. Just a beautiful setup. Beautiful setup. This is a parabolic. This is work. So for parabolics, for the new traders, if you're going to play these, just do like 10, 20 shares until you understand how they work. Because they're really, aside from support and resistance, there really isn't any kind of setup, any kind of, confirmations that we look for. It's just like at the open, all we're doing is trading emotions on parabolics and falling knives. Okay, so where people are buying on these parabolics that are up 2-3 points, or sometimes 5-6 points, we want to be selling. We want to sell into strength and buy into weakness. So you let the first para go, unless you're lucky enough to catch it. But by the time I see it and it comes on my scan or my squawk, the move's already back down to VWAP. So this one broke out. Okay, then as soon as you start seeing a little bit of red on the second candle, you know it's going to be coming down to test a 9 or test a VWAP. Okay, and this one looks like it was testing a 9, and then what happens? You get that secondary bounce. Secondary bounce isn't as powerful as the first bounce, but that's where I like to play the long on this one. And then what I'll do, this one here, you can see you put in the high is the same pretty much, right? So I would take it short now that I know it failed it once, it failed it twice. I would try to get short at 46 or as close to it as possible, okay? And take it right back down, okay? Because my stop is already predetermined now. It already put in its high, okay? And then you got the down, testing a 9, take it long, safe long, let it retest, okay, double top, you get out, then you got the short with your predefined risk, which is the previous high. And these are very important. You always got to watch the MACD histo for when it's being oversold or overbought, and volume. Volume tells, pretty much volume alone on this one tells you the story when you're in a parabolic or a falling knife. This one here, again, this could be a second day play very easily if it takes out the low from the previous day. Look at this fade it had previous day. Okay, so you know that this is going to be in play. But why I have this up here, because I want you to start noticing the patterns that usually happen toward the end of the day. And they haven't been happening toward the end of the day that much with a lot of follow through, but they will. Okay, and you want to flip this chart upside down for the long side, everything is the same. It's just all the MACDs are going the other direction. Okay, and the candles are green instead of red. So this thing's just consolidating, grinding. So as we know, as the market consolidates, the longer it consolidates, the bigger the breakout's going to be, right? So it's consolidating, test the lower deviation band. You got the 200 right there. Comes back up, tests the 920, rejects it, right? Okay, so now you're looking at it. You say, okay, this thing is looking pretty weak. Okay, so you got the 920 cross. Then it broke to 200. Okay, so that's where you want to go short. Okay, you got the 920 cross and it breaks to 200. Where's your stop going to be? Your stop is going to be above or close above the 9 or the 200, whatever you're more comfortable with, and just let it work. Okay, it's coming to, the green to red line, which is the opening price. You should get a little bit of covering or buying, which you did, but nothing even close to what it should have been. It should have bounced up past 200, but this thing just kept on going. Stop, short covering, again, stopped at the same area right here. You can draw a trend line right there. Small trend line, it's like probably 8-minute trend line, but it's still a trend line on a 2-minute chart. So you can add to your short or feel comfortable that it's going to go back down. That's exactly what it did. And just grind it out the rest of the day. So, second day play, as soon as this takes out the low of this day, you take it short. Okay? So, you got an opening, hit the upper, next day, upper deviation band, came back down, just consolidate. It comes down, tests the lower band. Not much happening, no price action. Comes up, starts riding VWAP. Comes down, double bottom. Okay, people probably played double bottom. You can see the increase in volume right there. Then it goes up, hits VWAP. But look, I want you to look at something very obvious. Okay, high, lower high, lower high. Where do you think the stock is going next? It's going downtown. Okay, high, lower high, lower high. Upper deviation band, VWAP above, below VWAP. So you figure it's going to be below the opening day price. 920 cross, and it's just a beautiful fade. And I'm showing you this because this is almost the same as this. You need to get familiar with these patterns and be able to not so much predict, but just be ready for the fades, just based on the patterns. Now this one is Rackspace. This is a double top that went wrong and just kept on going. Okay, and it's got a lot of people trapped. It was only a point move or so, but still, it's people took. Look at the volume. Okay, so a lot of people were playing this. Okay, double top against the upper deviation, and you have no reason to believe that it's not going to hold. But what happens? As soon as it breaks, the 9 is just going straight up. Look how close the stock price is to the 9, the candle. Look how close it is to the 9. That's a sign of strength. Okay, if your stock had a lot of gap between the 9 and the candle, okay, that's a different story. I'd be a little more comfortable letting the short go, another 20, 30 cents, or possibly adding to it. But when the stock's just grinding up and riding the 9, you got to know to cut the trade off. Okay, if you're wrong, take yourself out of the trade. Okay, so as soon as it breaks the high, okay, see the correlation with the volume, the MACD, and where the price action with the candlestick, how far it is away from the 9, and you got to change your trend. The trend is now going up. You got to recognize that as soon as you can and save your money. Do not be adding into this crap. Okay, if you're wrong, take the loss. Okay. This one again, Herbalife. I don't remember why this. I'm trying to think why this gapped down so much at the open. Maybe it was the day that Ackman or someone was trying to sell his shares. I don't know, but I actually think it was. But regardless, beautiful fade at the open. Okay, I wouldn't have played this fade because the gap down so huge. I just the risk reward wouldn't be there for me. Okay, so put it in a bottom at the lower deviation band, came back up, testing VWAP. But you see the area is getting stuffed. Okay, so you got to anticipate it coming down, testing the lower deviation band. Okay, again, I wouldn't be playing this one just because of the gap. I'm still not convinced, okay, that it's not going to go lower. Okay, I would let this one go. Doji or not, this one I will let go. Okay, especially with the rising MACD. So there we go. Comes up, trend line still gets rejected. Comes down to VWAP, but what happened? It put in a higher low. Okay, so you know the stock's temporarily going to go higher. You got a nice string of candles coming up to the upper deviation band. Comes down, testing 920. And then here's a beautiful setup. Okay, you got the 50, which is strong, hell of a lot stronger than the 920. And you got the upper deviation band. And you have 1, 2, triple top. Okay, so here I'm totally safe taking it short. What's my stop? My stop is a close above the upper deviation band. Okay, so what happens? It comes straight back down. Every trader saw the same thing that I'm telling you right now. Look to the left. There you are. Take it short. Cover at the lower deviation band. Now, this bottomed 3 times around 57s. Okay. Now, I would be totally cool taking this long. Okay. What's my stop? My stop is a break of the low of the day with a close. That's my stop. It's predefined now. I already know that because I held it once, held it twice, held it 3 times. Plus, I have this lower deviation band I have in my back. Okay, so you cover, then it goes back up again. Oh, look what happened here. Puts in another top. You got a fake breakout, and you see that tail. That's why I say wait till the candle closes before you exit or enter your position. This right here is a bearish candle. It tried to break out and make a new high, but it got sold into. So as soon as this red candle starts to form right next to it, you're going to take it short again. Why? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, quadruple top. Okay? I mean, it's as simple as that. I mean, this stock was just up and down all day. I mean, it's really predictable if you know what to look for. Another chart of Ulta. I think I just went over this one at the open. Maybe not. No, I think this one's new. So again, came down, earnings, just grind and consolidate, not in play, nothing's really going on. What's going on? Nothing. Okay. So we got Friday comes along, day after earnings. Okay, it opens below, automatically starts forming a red candle. Okay, as soon as this area here, you draw this trend line, is broken, you take it short. Because this is where the support has been. Okay, and it broke the support, so you take it short. Ride is short all the way down. Same rules apply. Short covering, trend line, you're still good. VWAP, you can add and take it right back down. So again, look at these patterns because you're going to start seeing these over and over and over again. Teva, I'm going to take that one down. Nothing really there. INSEE. This is a crazy day for INSEE. This was like a month or so ago, or maybe even more. I don't even know. But regardless, great idea of the second day play. As soon as it breaks the high of the previous day, you take it long. For some reason, this thing got parabolic. Okay, maybe a lot of people took it short at the open, and a huge, huge short squeeze. I don't know. I don't know what caused this move, except the old saying is, there's more buyers than sellers. Simple as that. So, I remember the day. I didn't catch this long. I'm like, what the hell's going on with the stock? I didn't know. The stock makes this move, and I don't have any news on it or anything. I don't usually trade it. Okay, because you can see all the candles. This was a solid move, even though it's almost straight up. It rode the 9 very, very close, which means it's a legit move. Okay, so now we're starting to get exhausted. You see the increase in volume. Okay, exhaustion candle in volume, and then little tail, stuff, little fade, 920 cross, came back up, stuffed again. All right, so I'm good with my short. If you want to be conservative, you wait till this trend line right here is broken. And you got the 920.50 cross, it looks like, right here, which is great. Take it short. Let it test a 9. It fails. Ride and VWAP, ride and VWAP, ride and VWAP. You got the 50 right there. Fake breakout. Right there. Okay? So you're still good. Okay? You're still good. And like I said, wait for a close. You see both of these candles are very bearish, so they got sold into. And you got an elephant bar, and then here we go, boom, break VWAP, comes back to retest, fail, straight down. But I would have covered here, no doubt, just because it was a little tail right there, and then to me this is a bottoming candle. So I would have covered in this area. Came back up, tested the 20, you know, and if you wanted to, you know, once it fails the 20 and breaks the 200, you can reshort it. But for me, I don't think the risk reward would have been there. This breakout, I would have taken though. So you have a solid trend line. As soon as this area here was taken out, I would have caught this move down. And then I always look to cover around the, you know, the opening and closing price. Always. At least some. Because usually you get a bounce off of that. So I missed the front side, back side, you know, double top with a lower high, consolidation, fake move, 920.50 cross, straight down. AGN, as you guys know, used to be one of my favorite stocks with Luigi. I know Shay watches this all the time. Got some great calls on the stock. Again, I just want you to look at the pattern, okay? This can very easily be a second day play, okay? Higher lows broken, you go with the trend. Simple as that. But you look at this. Grinding, 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 grinding. Fade, okay? Hitting lower deviation band. But look, it's just consolidating. Riding the 50. Look at the 50. Look at the 9. Look at the 20. All crossed. What's happening? It's in a downtrend. The candles are getting smaller and smaller and lower and lower. It's hard to pick that up, but if you look at it, that's exactly what's happening. So you need to anticipate this wash. Okay? As soon as this breaks, well, actually, I probably would have taken it short here, but as soon as this breaks right here, that's your short. What's your stop? Your stop is a break above and a close above the 9 or the 20. You know, for me, it would be the 9. Came down, tested the 9, failed, tested the 9, failed. Okay, we found a little bit of a short-term bottom here. Okay, 920 came close together, 920 cross. If you missed this move, you can very easily capture that move. Okay, or if your stop was the 20 and not the 9, you know, because you're already in the money, you want to see what happens, you use a 20. Okay, huge volume. Okay, which means exhaustion right there. That's your exhaustion count. Means, you know, okay, the move is getting close to being done. So cover, pops up a little bit, well, 3.5 points, and you know your short was beautiful. Again, could be second day play, breaking the low. More importantly, fading, 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 boom, consolidating on the lower band, and then it just snaps. And this is an A+ setup. This is my favorite setup, because it just simple fades. Nothing, you know, nothing crazy about it. It's just simple fade. BMRN, BioMarine, same thing. So you come up here, high, double top. Okay, so stock puts in a double top. Take it short. Okay, then you got the 920 cross or under VWAP. Another sign of weakness. Broke VWAP, tested a 9, it failed. Another sign of weakness. Okay, consolidating right underneath the 200. Consolidating. catches up with the 920, fades. Okay, right here, opening price or previous day close. Okay, it goes right through it. Either add or take some off, depending on your style. There's no reason to get out if it was me, because you're still riding the 9 all the way down. You got a little bit of retest, or disruption candle, as Luigi says. It's just some short covering, continuation of trend. So again, double top, consolidating, anticipate that fade, guys. You need to anticipate that fade happening. So if you see a stock, okay, that put in a double top and you took it short for double top and then it just starts consolidating, don't get out of it unless you have a reason to get out of it. Because usually when a stock's consolidating, it's going to move one way or another. Mink. If I go back to BMRN, the chart's going to look almost identical. Almost identical, guys. Last one was BMRN. Now we got MNK. Same thing. Came up, getting stuffed at 80, call it 86. Get stuffed, get stuffed, get stuffed. Okay, you want to take it short, great. Okay, holds VWAP, comes back up, and it puts in a lower high, double top. What do? You take it short. Okay, so you take it short. Yeah, I would have taken this, definitely. Especially with that volume. I would have taken that short. So, it's just riding VWAP, consolidating all the way across. Then you got the 920 VWAP break, and there's the fade. So again, this is, I think, the third or fourth one with this pattern that I was showing you guys. So if a stock has a double top and then starts consolidating, look for a move up or down. If it's a double bottom, look for a move up. Double top, look for a big move down. This one is Acacia back when it was in 120s. Look at it now, it's cut in half almost. So here, this second day play. I'm like, why the hell do I have this up? Second day play. So again, as soon as the high or the low, the previous day is taken out, you go in that direction. So as soon as this low is taken out at the open, okay, you take it short. Comes down over the cover at the lower deviation band. Failure, 920 VWAP failure. You're short again. Cover at the lower deviation band. There's just grinding. Puts in a low, holds the lower deviation band, okay, which it has done 3 times prior. Then you got the 920 cross. Then you got the Machisto flip from red to green. So actually, you could have taken this long. Okay, your first target would have been VWAP. But look, you've got the 920. Now you got the 50 on your side. No reason to get out. None. And get up here, your goal after VWAP, your goal would have been the 200. Tested the 200, came back down, put in a double top, you get out, okay? Then you got the 920 cross again, and you could have faded it. 920 cross was your stop. Your stop is right above the 200. But more importantly, second day move. Second day moves are just great. They're really working in this market. Indice, again, it's just the fades. Double top, coming back down, double bottom, goals VWAP, boom, another bottom. But you say this bottom, right? You're making lower highs. Then you got the 920 cross, came up, tested VWAP, 920 cross, not much going on, it's just kind of consolidating, channeling, and well, you're in a tight channel, okay? When you're in a tight channel, as well as consolidation, you need to be aware of these moves. The longer this happens, the more powerful these moves are going to be. Again, 920 cross, break to 200, boom, straight down. You got to be ready for these. Same thing here, REGN. Doesn't matter if it's a $2 stock or a $400 stock. It still works the same. Second day play, or triple top, whatever you want to call it. There's a high from the previous day. There's the high, one top, two top, three times. So 425 is the number that can't break right now. So that's what you're looking for. Okay, triple top, take it short, comes down, hits a 200. Okay, and the lower deviation band. I would have covered right here. Why? Look right there. Previous resistance now becomes support. Came back up. Okay, but what did it do right here? Lower high. Tested it again. Can't get past this trend line. So you take it short. You can see this trend line straight across. Take it short. Target's going to be again down here. Came down. Okay. It hit the 200. A little bit of a bounce, but not even close to what I had prior. It's just grinding. 920 cross. What's going to happen, guys? As soon as it breaks, straight down. This was like a 10-point move. Again, double, triple top, consolidation, just breaks all the way down. So that's what we have for the charts. And I didn't realize it would take so long, but there was some good stuff on those charts. I hope you guys understand, the second day play a little bit better. It's really a great setup. I will get into the intuition from the trader's side in a couple days, but I don't want to take up too much because I know anything longer than an hour it's hard keeping interest. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Hope we're going to have a kick-ass week. And I hope you guys learned something from this. And I will see you in the pre-market. All right. Thank you.